Hey guys, welcome back to The Fishing Teacher. Appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today to check out the episode. And we are going to be talking about, and I'm going to share with you all, a really good way to catch bass on a jerkbait during the summertime. Most people, they stop fishing jerkbaits, usually December, January, February, and into March, key jerkbait areas. But a lot of people don't realize how good a jerkbait will catch fish in the summertime. And I've got a technique I want to share with y'all that I've had 30 and 40 fish days on it. So we're going to dig into that in today's episode here. Also, guys, before we get started, one quick reminder, you may have heard me talking about it. If you guys are in the market to buy a new bait cast reel, guys, highly consider this new Cast King ALTI bait cast reel. I've been using this thing for about 3 months now. It's got this halo vortex braking system on it that makes it pretty much backlash free. You can cast this thing, guys. You know how normally you got a thumb, a bait caster? You can cast it and not even have your thumb on the spool there with that braking system. It's the only reel that has a 100% fully titanium spool on it. It's light as a feather. Absolutely love this thing, guys. And it's right around only 200 bucks. You will not find a better reel for the price. And also, guys, I'll put my Cast King link in the description of the video here. If you use my promo code Randy10, you get an additional discount. And you can also get it through my Tackle Warehouse link. If you guys have been using that link, Tackle Warehouse has got them. So really appreciate that. Okay, guys, what we're talking about today, I'm going to talk about the Vision 110 Megabass and the summertime pattern that I catch a ton of fish on it. There's two ways, guys, that you can rip them on a jerkbait in the summertime of the year once that water temperature starts hitting around 80 degrees. So this is a technique that really works the best from about late June into August is when you can really catch them on this. In the dead of the summer is the best. It's like when it's super, super hot, nobody would even consider a jerkbait. This is when you can catch them on it. The first way, guys, is if you have a lake that has floating boat docks in it. Anywhere between, the water can be 5 foot underneath them or it can be 50 foot underneath them. It doesn't matter. You can take a Megabass Vision 110, put it on like 10-pound line. I use it on a spinning rod and cast this thing as close as you can to the floats down both sides of the dock and down the front of the dock, and work that jerkbait down about 3 feet just underneath the floats on those floating boat docks. In the summertime, those bass live under those docks suspended, because if you've ever walked along a big, it can be a commercial dock or residential, whatever, that's floating, you see all the bluegills there, and the fish are feeding, the bass are feeding on bluegills. A lot of times you can even see bass. Throw this sucker down the sides and down the corners of those docks. The best places, the most high percentage area, are the two outside corners of a dock. Make sure you hit them, with the jerkbait. And also, I'll take them and like pitch that jerkbait into the boat slips and work it down there under the floats, and they'll hammer it like that. The second way you can catch them on it, well, actually 3 ways. The second way you can catch them on it, you can do the same thing on those wave breaks. A lot of lakes, they've got, at the mouth of marinas and stuff, they got those floating wave breaks out there. Some of them are metal, some of them are made out of tires. You can do the same thing with the jerkbait on those in the summertime. And then finally, guys, a jerkbait is deadly on any type of a bridge pier. If there's any bass on a bridge pier that are less than 10 foot deep, especially the biggest aggressive fish, you can throw this jerkbait right next to those bridge piers and catch a bunch of fish on those, especially if you got some current and water visibility over about 2 foot. Those are 3 awesome ways to catch them during the summertime. Now, sort of like an outside deal, not for everybody. If you guys are fishing, if you guys live up north and you live on those big famous northern smallmouth lakes, like all the Great Lakes and, Lake St. Clair and Lake Champlain and, Saginaw Bay, all that type of stuff, those big, smallmouth lakes, there's not a better bait for catching big smallmouth in the heat of the summer is on a jerkbait. If you do fish for smallmouth on the 110 in the summertime, guys, fish this thing fast. It's like throw it out there and go boom, 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 boom. You don't want to hesitate at all. You want this thing going crazy all over the place. So those are the best ways to catch them in the summer. And also, guys, don't hesitate throwing this thing around dirty, shallow water. Same place you'd fish like a square bill crankbait. Let me give you one example here. I was fishing an FLW tournament down at Lake Pickwick one time, and I was in this dirty water backwater. The water visibility was probably like 4 inches, dirty water back in the back of this thing, and I was catching them on a square bill crankbait. And there was this one place back there that there was like an underwater, it was only like 3 foot deep, shallow, but there was a bunch of stumps on this underwater point. And a couple of them, you could barely make out the shade underneath them. And a couple of them I knew were down there because I'd get my crankbait hung up on them. And I caught like 10 fish off this one little bitty point on a square bill crankbait. And I'm trying to figure out how to exhaust every fish that's there. So I'm pitching a worm and everything and trying to, just maximize, see if they want another bait. I just happened to have the Vision 110 tied on because I was throwing it on some bridge piers out on the main lake and catching them. I took this 110, guys, and threw it out in that muddy water, this deep of water on those stump flats, jerked it down a couple times and caught a 5-pounder on it, the biggest fish I had that day in muddy, shallow water. So don't think they won't hit it in any condition. But anyway, guys, hope it helps out. I'll put my Megabass Vision 110 link in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video if you guys would like to get some. The color's not that big of a deal. I mean, just any type of a shad pattern, sort of match your water clarity to it. Definitely gets you some good fish. So we'll talk later.